This is a model kit review of the F-18E, the Super Hornet, and it's a 1/48 scale model by Revell. It's one of their newer models. Here's a picture of the finished model, and another picture, and the dimensions, and the colors needed. There's the model from the other side. Let's have a look inside. Looks like we have a number of sprues here. So we'll cut these open and have a look. So these are our pylons. They're actually very nicely molded. As you can see, you have a fair amount of surface detail here, and these are all recessed. This looks like our central fuel tank. And we have our weapons. Here we have the other side, and again, lots of nice surface detail here on those pylons. Here's our landing gear. This is the nose gear. It's fairly well molded. Lots of extra little pieces here. Even have the little details there for the landing gear. Here are the wing surface actuators. And our wheel wells, the covers here, have some nice detail there. Here are our wheels, also with some nice surface detail. And we have our main gear, also fairly well molded. Here's our ejection seat. We have a few mold lines remaining here. We also have our instrument panel, fairly detailed actually, and other parts of our ejection seat. Here's the inside of the wheel well covers. And here are the nose halves, left and right. All recessed lines here are the wings, or the edge, the wing tips actually. I suppose if you wanted to, you could cut these off and make the wings fold up, as though they're in storage, but a lot of surface detail, actually very nicely molded. No real detail there on the inside. And here are the ducts. Here's the other side for the ducts for the air intake. These are all very nicely molded. And here are the tails. And we have our turbo fan there. Here is our stabilizer. And it looks like it's probably going to join together there and be able to move up and down. Here's our canopy. It's actually nicely molded. It does look like we have a mold out line right down the middle of it though. So that's going to need to be sanded and polished. It's a little bit of a pain. That one looks pretty good. Here's our cockpit. Some nice surface detail there. There's the back part. That's right behind the cockpit. So, when you look at the main fuselage, Look at the tremendous amount of detail in that wheel well. That's a really well made wheel well. Same thing for the nose wheel well. Tremendous amount of detail. Very nicely molded. Lots of detail here on the wings. It's all recessed panel lines and the rivet lines. This is a really well made model kit. Here are the exhausts, nozzles, and well molded, some detail. And let's have a look at the top here. Also a tremendous amount of surface detail, all very nicely molded. And here are our exhausts, back part of the engine. Our decals there, we'll have a look at those. Exceptional amount of detail here. You see our instrument panel there. Lots and lots of detail. This is going to be a very good model. There are the colors needed. We start off with the ejection seat and cockpit. And put some pieces together on the inside of the fuselage, and then our air ducts, the air intakes, and those are then put onto the model. We build the area looks like for our stabilizer elevator. The fuselage is then glued, as well as the nose. That's then put onto the model, as well as the exhausts. Here's our landing gear going on, and main gear. Then our gear covers, our landing gear covers, the wheel well covers, actuators, pylons. Then we start to put the weapons on. And looks like we have some options here. Doesn't look like we have much. I don't see anything for those main pylons. So they're the missiles. Those main pylons look like they're empty. We do have a central fuel tank. Some additional body parts, including the landing hook, elevator, and tails. Building the rest of the canopy goes on here, up or down, the ladder, and here's our painting and decal guide. And here's the underside and top side. And new decals. So this is actually a very impressive model. Tremendous amount of detail, both in the little pieces as well as the decals. All the parts are very well molded, and the impressive thing for me is these wheel wells. That usually requires a lot of extra work to get that level of detail. This has already been molded in, which is just exceptional. All recessed panel lines and rivet lines. That's going to be a great model.